Hopefully, we'll start to see more things happen, Eric, with KD and Kyrie staying in Brooklyn.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that both of those guys, they do stay. I mean, it seems that they're both staying right now.
Mm.
And I think more moves can be made. I don't think it affects free agency as much as it affects teams maybe making a move because they could have been a part of that trade or they could have got a player here and there. So yeah, I think I can see where the moves were held up, but not necessarily free agency. I think most teams, for the most part, have their rosters somewhat set.
Mm.
Yeah.
Do you think? Cause I've seen something people are online making jokes about how it's been pretty clear that KD wanted out, and now he's going back to Brooklyn. Like, how long realistically do we see this lasting? Do you think it just be a year thing, or could this be kind of a Harden situation where he ends up leaving halfway through the season next year?
No, I mean, I think the plan is for it to last. I mean, if it doesn't last, it's because I think maybe something happens, and I think that if something happens, I think it will be more mutual than maybe one sided. I can see that, but I think right now the plan is to keep it moving, and maybe if they were able to kind of accomplish the things that most people thought they would accomplish, they can kind of move on, and it could be gone in the memory. But we'll see.
Being a player in like these sorts of meetings, obviously more experience than we have. Because the last report that when he met with Cy was that he still told them, I want out and it's me or Marks and Nash. The next meeting they have is with him, his agent, Marks, Nash, and Cy, and now everything's all good. So does that mean it might have been like a personal thing that needed to just get out in the air, get out in the open and get resolved? Or is it like, I mean, what would be something that can go from, it's them or me, then all of a sudden we're all good for now?
Well, in my guess, it was, obviously I Bleav in the first meeting, it was maybe KD and ownership only, KD and his representatives. I think there was some form of disagreement between him and, maybe having a conversation with Steve and Sean and all them, having a conversation with them, and it didn't particularly go as well. And I think some of this has to do with Kyrie in some way. Even though he's not really mentioned in all of this, I Bleav that one way or another, maybe the disagreements is a part of that. It could be a disagreement in the direction of the team. So I have no way of knowing, but I think it can go many different ways. But I just think in the end, with all parties there, it was a decision that came out agreeable. But I do firmly Bleav that it was, in my opinion, the team saying, "Hey, we're not just going to trade you for anybody. Like it's not going to happen."
Yeah.
And most of these teams can't. The places you would like to go can't give us what we deserve in trading you. So how can we? What's needed to make this go forward and kind of like move on? And then I Bleav that that's why the other guys were in there, so then they could hash out what it is they have their issues with,
whatever might have been the problem,
and then move on from there. So I don't think that he necessarily called his meeting to say, "Hey, I want to come back." I think it was more of a, "Hey, this is where we're at. Like, we can't get it done. So if we can't get it done, we're not going to sacrifice the team and do all this. So how can we make it work?" And
at least for this season.
At least for now, for now, how can we make it work? But even in saying this season, I personally don't think you can just say for right now this season, because then if you're saying that and then all of a sudden you're talking about winning the championship, you're talking out the side of your mouth. So I don't know how you can be like, "Hey, we in it right now," and then say we in it to win the championship. Like, I don't see how if you're not all in, because to me that's not all in.
Yeah, I guess they think with the amount of talent that at least those two have, they think like not being all in, they can still win it all. But
Well, we've seen that. We've seen that they can't.
Yeah. And Kawhi wasn't all in with Toronto. He was out the moment they won, and they still won. So yeah.
Well, he was all in when he was there. Like, he just wasn't all in as far as being signed in the future, but he was present. No issues, present, working hard, and a lot of things went their way. You know, they had one big shot that could have been totally different outcome. We know that.
Yeah, I do. Unfortunately.
Yeah.